Hey everyone, Depressed Eeyore here, and this is post commentary on Final Fantasy Tactics. So the reason I'm doing post commentary is I'm going to be doing a lot of save state abuse, unfortunately. So this is the infamous battle against Elmdor, where it's him and his two assassins. Um, and yeah, this battle is hell. This is why I leveled to 99. It is possible to beat him at lower levels very easily, actually. Well, I won't say easily. Essentially, the way to beat him is just to spam him with spells before he wrecks you. The biggest issue is he's even stronger in this version of the game than he was in the previous version. There's no other way to really describe him. He's so freaking powerful. Right now, I'm kind of just showing off what I have set up. For the most part, it's not much different from what I had before. Majority of the characters are equipped with the accessory that prevents petrification and stop. Agrius, of course, has a ribbon, and I think I gave a. Might have gave a. Nope, that's pretty much it. Cause yeah. Also, I of course switched Auric to being a thief because he's the only character so far that has every single steal. Also, you'll definitely notice I'll be making save states. I make a ton of them throughout this battle, just setting off various checkpoints for me to handle things. Essentially, every time it hits Auric's turn, I'm going to be stealing an item off of Elmdor. This is the reason why I've leveled up so much. Is like I said, if you can rush them with spells, it's definitely possible. It's not too bad, though it's still pretty bad. I'm kind of going all over the place, unfortunately. So Elmdor, the way he worked in the base game was he has Teleport 2 and Blade Grass. When I initially played this game as a kid, it was my first encounter of Blade Grass. I didn't even know it existed because I didn't have a samurai at the time. And yeah, it's the way Blade Grass works is it'll increase your evasion equal to your brave against any melee attack, essentially. So it works on anything. It even concentration won't fully negate it. So for the most part, just can't hit them. Can't hit them at all. I think in the base game it would allow you to catch arrows and things like that as well. In this game it says it doesn't work against crossbows and bows, but I can't test that because we don't have any marksmen. Anyway, I'm showing off the assassins. The assassins, of course, are cheating. They have the ribbon in their accessory slot. They also both have maintenance, which means they can't steal or break their gear, so they are essentially completely immune to status effects. And I'm right now just going through all of Elmdor's stuff. There's probably some DC with my commentary with the actual video. I apologize. I might put some breaks in there just to help it sync up a little bit better. But in general, his gear is this is the only opportunity to get his gear. You can steal it from him. There's the Masamune, which is a really powerful katana that has +1 speed. There's the Genji shield, which gives +1 magic, +1 magic, +1 physical attack, and it has evasion it has slightly less evasion than that awesome shield that we got from the priest a while back. And then the rest of the the Genji helm and the Genji armor just provide a lot of HP, and they both provide plus magic and plus physical attack. And then the Genji glove gives +2 magic, +2 physical attack. So essentially, it also just from the icons, it's definitely designed to be samurai gear, since samurai rely on both physical and magic attack, but they don't need mana. Anyway, so the big issue with Elmdor is the way he works is he has Teleport 2, this is the only situation where you'll ever see Teleport 2, except with the exception of whatever this patch might have in store for us. Teleport 2 is exactly like Teleport, except it will never fail. So essentially he can teleport anywhere he wants at any time. And that's generally how he starts his fights. He'll immediately teleport adjacent to you. Usually he will open with his most powerful samurai ability. In the base game, it was the one that can cause death sentence and confusion, as well as damage. In this one, he knows the most powerful samurai ability, which is Chirijiraden, or whatever it's called, which is weird because you should probably equip it because that's the strongest katana in the game. Now, as always, we have to deal with the assassins. The assassins have their stats effects. They have stop, 100% stop, 100% petrification, 100% instant death in melee range. But I also got caught off guard because they had 100% allure, 100% charm, which I had no way to counter. So luckily it wasn't too bad, but at the same time it was kind of annoying. The good news is since they are so focused on doing status effects, including Elmdor, I was able to kind of had free reign on what to do. The main benefit of leveling so much is it provided my characters a lot more speed. Both the assassins and Elmdor have 12 speed at this point, and they are ridiculous, and that's really high speed at this level, or at their level rather. That's the biggest issue with dealing with things like trying to steal his gear, because you're gonna have all three of them just wailing on you while you're trying to steal. So I wanted to get as much speed as possible, as well as much attack power as possible. One thing to note about one of the assassins is one of the assassins has Hamado, which means melee attacks are probably not that useful. One of them does have throw, at the very least, though they didn't really use very many of their physical attacks. The primary thing I needed to do was, of course, I wanted to steal Elmdor stuff, so that was Oric's job, was to steal everything. And everything else was just trying to deal with the assassins. Now, the thing about the assassins in this particular fight is if you take them out, like if you actually reduce them to 0 HP, they get back up as a demon. Now the good news is, when they get back up as a demon, their CT resets back down to 0. So that's so throughout the battle, I'll be like looking at CT and be like, okay, now's a good time to kill them. And anytime they put a charm up, I try to make sure I whack the character. Luckily, all of my characters have a lot more HP now, due to gear changes and all that nonsense. So I try to take advantage of everything as best as possible. Anyway, I'm right now just checking to see what I need to do to kill units and all that stuff. Give me one moment. Yeah, a little bit of desync there. Alright, but yeah, like I said, it's not too shabby. I was pretty impressed that I procced freaking Stop Bracelet twice in a row. Of course, they are immune, at least because of the ribbons. But beyond that, the battle was just meticulous. I was very meticulous, trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Majority of the fight, majority of my characters were critical, which was the roughest part. Anyway, and one of the most important things I did in this battle was I gave Shell to everybody. Like I mentioned before, one of the things Elmdor usually does is he'll teleport next to as many people as possible and then use his draw out ability. And Chirijiraden, whatever that's called, the most powerful draw out ability, does like 400 damage. It's ridiculous. It just wipes you out. I think the way I beat it before on my other playthrough is I gave my casters as much health as possible so they can tank one hit. And then I immediately just used mimes and summoners and just blasted the characters as much as possible. Anyway, so I'm trying to take advantage of Forge's ninja ability. Obviously, Hamado is an issue, so throw will help me negate that. But I end up just taking out the other assassin just to get them out of the way. Of course, I procced another freaking Stop Bracelet, which was kind of amazing. Now, what they come back as is Ultima Demons, which is the strongest demon. They do know things like, Giga Flare, or whatever it's called, and Ultima. But since his CT resetted, I didn't have to worry too much about it. Also, something to note about Ultima Demons is they're now they don't have any gear because they're monsters. So at this point, they are actually vulnerable to status effects. So you can actually CC them and instant death them and all that fun stuff. Overall, they're not too bad since I generally have 2 characters that are really good with holy magic, so I'm not too concerned on that front. At this point, since I can't really afford to spend time healing, so I'm just spreading characters out. In fact, for the most part, I'm leaving some characters just critical on purpose, just so Elmdor might potentially target other people. One thing I didn't really talk about in the early game, or at least the early parts of this video, is Elmdor did something called Bloodsuck. And all Bloodsuck does is it drains life, and it applies Bloodsuck, which I thought it was kind of like a mixture of Charm and Undead, but I was kind of incorrect on that front. What it does is essentially you act like a vampire, and you just want to suck everyone's blood. So that's exactly what ended up happening. At one point, Rams actually gets an action while affected by Bloodsuck and attacks Elmdor. And what's kind of nice is he gets an ability called Bloodsuck as well, and it has 100% accuracy, so he just uses it on Elmdor and does some damage. Of course, my goal is not really to do damage to Elmdor, because he's going to lose plenty of HP once we steal his gear. Agrius' attack power is through the roof. Oh, all my characters' attack power is through the roof now since they're level 99, so I'm just happily taking advantage of that. Unfortunately, my luck with Agrius has been awful. 70% hit chance just keeps missing, so I kind of just save state abuse because I don't like this fight at all, so I have no regrets. I mean, like I said, I leveled to 99 just so I can steal the gear. If you're not stealing the gear, you don't really need to level up to 99. Now, one thing to note is that leveling up to 99 will make the next fight harder, the fight that comes after this one, because some of the monsters will level with you, and they'll scale with you. Anyway, let's take a look at my options. Made more save states. We took out one of the demons. That demon will not get back up, and if we spend enough time, he'll turn into a crystal. But so that can potentially give us some health and all that nonsense. Obviously, attacking the other assassins out of the question because she has Hamado. So I'll be resorting to throws for that. Now, Ramza, for the most part, has just been kind of bait. Unfortunately, his turns were always in sync with Elmdor's, so even if I cast the fastest spell I had, it just wasn't going to happen. And Elmdor does have martial arts, so even though I stole his katana, I'm very concerned about how strong he is, so I'm just letting him constantly hit me with Bloodsuck, because Bloodsuck only does 100 damage, which is not much. And as annoying as Bloodsuck is, I do have characters with Holy Water. I did buy a whole lot of very expensive things like spare items and spare gear, but one of the things I also did was I stocked up on Holy Water. Though there's only a few of my characters that actually know Holy Water, but thankfully Arya does. Now, of course, I got hit with Strop Bracelet. There was not much I could do about it. So at this point, I'm going to have 2 characters floating around in critical condition. And I went ahead and compared CTs, and I was like, okay, Forge will be able to get her back up. So in the meantime, I can do my own thing. Now, I do mistime one thing, because I was hoping... The plan was Forge was going to revive Arya, and then Arya was going to go ahead and use Holy Water to remove the Bloodsuck, but Ramsay actually gets an action before that happens. So, thankfully it wasn't too bad. It's not like... that's when I realized it's not like Charm, because Charm would have done a lot worse to us. So I'm going through my options as far as hitting this thing, and I'm going to go ahead and use a Lightning Stab, even though I don't know how much damage it will do. 266, so one more will wipe her out. And I've been just staying in place because haste and all that fun stuff. And of course, Auric is not going to do anything besides just keep stealing. Now, I could have removed the Bloodsuck with Auric. I could have just done a Stigma magic. But like I said, I just want to get the gear and then get done with this fight. That's when I realized, oops, Ramza gets an action. He does Bloodsuck. His Bloodsuck does more damage than freaking Elmdor's, but that's probably because, you know, higher magic rating and all that nonsense. Anyway, get Forge's action, get Arya back up. Arya will deal with the Bloodsuck. Unfortunately, that's going to end up clumping everyone together, and there's not much I can do about that, but the trick is just to make sure everyone stays up. Thankfully, we our slowest characters keep up with the assassins, and that's the main reason why I wanted to get the level ups. It's the speed difference that just wipes you out in this game. They just get so many actions. They do, and all of their actions usually revolve around, 100% hit chance status effects or 100%, instant death. And then of course Elmdor, who does ridiculous amounts of stuff. Anyway, I occasionally show off Elmdor's gear just to show how much progress we've made. So all we got left now is the helmet. So once we get that, we can safely just wipe out Elmdor and be done with it. Anyway, so I tried to do lightning stab again and I missed. So that's 2 out of 3 attacks that missed. That's the price for taking an attack up rather than concentrating. But alright, so another Ultima Demon. But the CT's been reset, so we don't have to worry about her taking another action anytime soon. And Elmdor's going to show off his ultimate attack. So this is the most powerful samurai ability, using the strongest katana in the game. So the highest amount of damage was 220, and something to note, well, it did 220 to her, and she didn't have shell. So that was probably a bad compat, but everyone else took 180 damage, and that's with shell active. So you're looking at 360 damage attack that's AoE and can't miss. And it's magic attack that's not based off faith, which is a mistake I did on my previous playthroughs. I thought if you had low faith, you can ignore the samurai abilities, but that's not true. It's not based off faith like spells. And sure enough, my next attack with Forge ended up proccing Stop Bracelets yet again, so it procced 4 times this fight. 3 of the times it didn't matter because the target was immune, but the 4th one was against a demon that wasn't immune, so I ended up insta-killing the final demon. So that just leaves Elmdor, and at this point he only has a helmet left, so all I have to do is steal it and then finish him off. And once you steal the helmet, he's only going to have around 400 HP. Surprisingly enough, despite the fact it was only like 15 or 16% chance to steal, I didn't have to do very many load states. At least not as many as I usually had to do. Situations where I had like a 60% chance to succeed, I usually have to load state like 7 or 8 times, and that's about how much I had to do it for just the 15%. So that just shows how ridiculously my luck is with RNG. Anyway, I'm going to be using Holy. At this point I can easily take that risk, because I'm going to have multiple people cast Holy at the same time, so he won't be able to stop everybody. I went ahead and tried to throw I went ahead and just tried to throw something at him just to do a little bit extra damage, and I actually, surprisingly enough, actually hit him. So it's not too shabby. But yeah, at this point, there's not much Elmdor can do. He's going to probably do that special attack one more time, and then be good to go. At this point, I'm kind of just going through the motions. But I still just kept to the same plan, keep everybody up so there's plenty of targets. Fortunately, Revive missed. As fun as punch arts are, the fact they can miss with Revive is very annoying. Anyway, I get a Holy set up, which is gonna... Ramses Holy by itself is enough to finish off Elmdor, but it's not going to be necessary in this case. He's just going to take out most of his life, and we're going to have Arya finish things up for us. And at this point, around this point is when Shell actually wears off. So we did pretty good with that. It was a very fast fight, despite the fact I had to do a lot of save states. I didn't really need to do this. I didn't really need to use Arya's draw out ability, but you know, I figured it was fitting for a samurai to defeat another. That, and I had the spare katanas. So, bam, finish off Elmdor, break a katana. And, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. So the only thing I do at the end of the game of this video is I go ahead and start dipping out the gear. Arya pretty much gets majority of the armor. She gets the katana, the Masamune, the helmet, and the armor. I gave the shield to Auric once I changed them back into a lancer, and I believe I gave the Genji glove. Who did I give the Genji glove to? It was I either gave it to Arya or I gave it to Agrias. I think I gave it to Arya, just to get her, you know, ridiculously strong. But yeah, now Arya has tons of HP. She's kind of she'll definitely be a force to reckon with. I'm not sure if the two swords is that useful at this point, since she only has one Masamune. It might be better to go just two-hand and get a different support ability. Perhaps even attack up or concentrate. But that's just in my opinion. Anyway, I kind of consider I do flounder a bit trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Genji glove, but I think I end up giving it to Arya, and I'll give her an even 20 attack power and 24 magic, so she's definitely a killing machine at this point. Which is good, because I don't really use her that often, at least I don't feel like I do. It's hard to tell, because there's so many characters in this freaking army. But, Auric has the Genji shield, so he's going to be pretty decent on evasion. Unfortunately, I don't get to take full advantage of his evasion, since I'm really concerned about stats effects. Because I don't want to deal with things like Seal, because the next fight's going to involve demons. Compared to the other fights, I want to say that this upcoming demon fight probably wasn't as bad as the other two. It's definitely a little bit harder in this particular playthrough, simply because we're, like I mentioned before, some of the monsters do scale with you. So we're going to have some level 99 monsters to deal with in this upcoming fight, which is going to make things far, far more difficult. Anyway, yeah, I show off the Masamune. It has +1 speed, which makes her even faster. It's all pretty good stuff. Anyway, I am the Depressed Dior. See you guys later.